She is not attractive enough to be talking online. Her husband definitely took pity on her and settled down. Before we start today's episode, we want to say something really clearly. This episode is not an attack on the military community. We are part of this community, we love this community, and we've built this podcast for this community.
But sometimes loving something means being honest about what's happening inside it. And today we're going to talk about something that a lot of people see, a lot of people experience, but not enough people talk about it openly.
Over the last few weeks, we've been sent screenshots, messages, and stories from women across the military community. Some of them made us angry.
Some of them made us laugh because honestly, some of the stereotypes are ridiculous.
But some of them genuinely made us stop and think. Because behind every joke, every comment, and every military meme page, there is an actual person reading it.
Today's episode is about the difference between banter and bullying, the difference between camaraderie and cruelty.
And the difference between laughing with people and laughing at them. Because those things are not the same.
We're going to talk about comment sections.
We're going to talk about military meme pages.
And we're going to talk about the way military wives are portrayed online.
And we're going to talk about some comments that were directed at us personally. Everything we're discussing today comes from real screenshots.
Real comments.
Real accounts.
And nothing has been exaggerated.
Nothing has been invented.
Now some people are probably already thinking it's just banter. And that's exactly why we're having this conversation.
Because if people at the centre of the joke aren't laughing, then maybe it's time we actually ask, what are we calling banter?
So whether you've experienced this yourself, whether you've seen it happen to someone else, or whether you've never really thought about it before, we want you to keep an open mind and just listen.
Because this conversation is a lot bigger than just a comment section. It's about the culture we create, the standards we accept, and the way we treat the women who are part of this military community. We're Sophie and Kirsha.
And this is Padwives Unfiltered.
Welcome back to Padwives Unfiltered, sponsored by Cheeky Monkey Videos. This podcast is about what military life actually does to relationships, behind the housing, the moves, and the version that everyone posts online. I'm Sophie.
And I'm Kirsha. Think of this as your group chat, just slightly more honest, chaotic, and with a sprinkle of chaos.
Before we get into it, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, whether you're on YouTube or Spotify, then why? So as you can tell from the intro, this is a bit of a hard-hitting episode, but it is a very much needed episode from the amount of people that have got in touch with us.
Yeah, it's going to be deep, but it's 100% necessary because I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I think the majority of the community is, and this isn't about saying that you can't have a laugh. We love a bit of banter, we love a bit of Leroy, but there is a strong difference between banter and bullying, and I think it's time that we stop hiding and disguising it, because
yeah, there's a line.
There is a line, and banter is when both parties find it amusing, not when you use someone as a punchline. Mm-hmm. And I think people need to get that definition right.
Yeah. Agreed.
We've got a few notes here, so do forgive us because we want to make sure that all our facts are correct, because we cannot tell you how many of you reached out, and not just females.
No.
Not just military wives, people who are serving as well, veterans, loads of different people who are quite frankly just fed up of being a punchline.
Yeah.
If you're not that funny, just admit it. Don't use other people.
At their expense.
Yeah.
Because you can't... Social media has become a mask for people.
It has.
It's become a mask for nasty people.
And we're not going to name the names of any specific pages, but you know who they are. We don't need to give them any more traction. But a lot of these pages, funnily enough, are faceless. So let's think about why. Why do these people not stand on business and put their face out there? And actually there was one that came out earlier, a specific post, a Padwife starter kit. Some of it, yeah, funny. You like the Ugg boots. But some of it are just, degrading and sexualization of females. And what makes what really gets me about these pages is if you are offended or you would like a post removed, please contact us. Now, you may think, and everyone else may think, that is, oh, that's being nice, because if you're offended, they'll take it down. Think about why that page and why those people have to have that in their bio. They know. It's because they know what they're doing. They know what comments they're inviting. And it's not necessarily it's not necessarily the posts themselves sometimes. It's the questions and the actively inviting and encouraging other social media keyboard warriors.
But the thing is, they're
comment.
actively inviting things that are negative towards other people, women mostly, but then claiming about mental health. You can't, those two don't go together.
No.
Inviting nastiness and cruelty and horrible things about people's appearance, about people's weight, stuff that will affect people mentally. You and I both know
and we
that
will
it
talk about that.
Us mentally. And then go, oh yeah, but we advocate for mental health. That just doesn't make sense.
No, and it's quite, and I find that so, what's the word, offensive to those families.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it is absolutely vile.
Yeah.
How dare you invite these types of comments to then post, more needs to be done for women in our military community, more needs to be done for the females who are serving, but you are actively inviting those comments and finding humour in them. Again, that is the difference between banter and using someone as a punchline.
Yeah.
If you are, banter is when two people are laughing. Now, we have all, I myself, you yourself probably, have all overstepped with banter before.
Yeah,
everyone
has at one
easily
point.
done. But the difference is you can turn around and say, I'm so sorry, I didn't realise that I kind of overstepped the mark there. But when you are actively putting it on social media, and you know what baffles me, is the women and the other wives that comment going, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
What is hilarious about that?
I don't know. The thing that baffles me is when people are saying negative things about or attacking you on the way that you look, who you are as a person. I could never fathom going up to somebody and making them feel so shit about themselves.
How bitter.
Just because I think that I'm funny.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't do that. You wouldn't walk up to someone in the street, oh, by the way, and I'm going to use a comment that you and I have, by the way, you're really fat. Like, I just wouldn't.
By the way, you look like Jabba the Hutt.
By the way, yeah. Or by the way, you know, we've been called fat, ugly, you name it. I just could never fathom going up to somebody like that.
And one of the other ones on this specific post as well, which came at a brilliant time, so thank you, was a military wife dedicated TikTok page. Do you know what I love about this? This post is posted on a military dedicated page. So what exactly is the difference? And
What's the difference
add,
between makeup
the
moguls
person
doing
running this page doesn't fucking serve anymore. So
Yeah.
tell me, move on, mate.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah. But it's like, it's niches, right? Everybody on social media knows that there is niches.
If you've done any kind of marketing or any kind of social media, you know that niches are what work.
Yeah. So in that case, why is it military spouses are getting so degraded in the fact that they use the internet, right? They're allowed to do so.
And lots of them are making a hell of a wage from it.
Yeah.
But God forbid they don't work.
If they make money, then they're not fitting other people's stereotype.
No. And the thing that's been brought up, the reason this is such a hot topic at the moment, is because for so long, military wives have been told, sit down, shut up. Don't have an opinion. Why is it that whenever you go on social media, as soon as you mention you're a military spouse, that's it. You're not allowed to have an opinion.
No.
Your opinion is wrong.
Yeah.
You're automatically fat and ugly. You're automatically not working.
Yeah. We had that comment that padwives should be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
We've actually had that on the page. And I'm sorry, but when it comes from a man, how medieval does that make it? Because that's telling women to sit down and shut the fuck up.
But also,
basically,
like, it just, Do you know what? When we get those comments, I actually sit there and I was like, we're making a difference. They would not be so bitter. No one is that bitter and that worried about other people online unless they're gaining traction or success.
Yeah.
If we had 100 views or whatever, or, 3 followers, it wouldn't matter. They wouldn't care.
No.
It's because it's making a dent in the community.
Yeah.
And we had people who came on Ration and Ready who ended up on those pages, that purposely came to Ration and Ready because they've ended up on those pages.
Yeah. Who also messaged about the fact that how much it was affecting them that they were being posted
And that
on these
was
pages.
Someone in their early 20s, a young girl
Yeah.
who didn't know what to do and said, I have no other choice other than to reach out to you because I genuinely have no idea what to do. I am so badly affected of this. And lots of these people are on their own because their partner is away.
Yeah.
And they're not surrounded by family. They haven't got their support system. And you think, oh, do you know what? That's banter because you're that dense and that small-minded that you think, ha, that's really funny. Let's talk about the way they look.
But they think that they can get away with it because it goes back to what I said about social media being a mask for nasty people. Good people wouldn't go out of their way to make people feel like shit about themselves. Horrible people do. Social media is their mask for it. And what also baffles me is why is it always women's appearance? It is always
because
about
they've
the
got
appearance.
fuck all else to say.
Exactly.
It's just the default.
Yeah, but since when did women's appearance become public property? That is what I can't understand. Why is it always in everybody's mouths about the way that women look? You see it online with every female near
I
enough.
saw Molly May, right? Now, Molly May she is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
She'd just given birth and went on holiday, I don't know, 6 weeks after, and everyone was going, haha, she's eaten too many burgers.
Yeah.
She has just birthed a child.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is what I mean. As females, you are just constantly degraded because they know going for your appearance is what is going to hurt.
Yeah.
Always. But it doesn't just happen with women. I have seen comments,
100%.
Even serving soldiers, when to other serving soldiers, you do see that there is horrible comments about each other.
When are society going to actually grow the fuck up?
In all honesty, I don't think it will ever happen because social media allows it to happen.
And don't get me wrong, there are 2 ways to look at this, right? So many people will be like, will you put yourself out there? Okay, yes. And we have come to terms with the fact that you are just always going to get those comments. But why is that the norm to have to come to terms with? What annoys me as well is there's a reason so many people don't post about this life and why families and spouses feel so isolated because there's so limited people out there they can relate to about this lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because they are so worried. It's like as soon as you hit post, you're like, okay, am I in a good space today to be able to take what is going to be thrown my way? Am I going to, how is it? I mean, I'm not ashamed to say that I've sat on the sofa and I've cried and I've gone, I think I've called you before, like, I can't do it anymore.
No, I literally had this conversation with you a few weeks ago. That some days with the comments that we have come in, I sit there and I think, I don't actually think I have the mental capacity for this.
It's not just, I mean, the appearance one is the default one and the weight one, right? I saw a military spouse that got a thing, she's lost like a hell of a lot of weight and she posts about it and someone was like, made a comment about Ozempic.
But it's never going to be good enough, that's the point. So you could lose it, but it would still never be good enough.
Yeah.
They'll still find something else to get. They'll still find something else to say.
It's not just the appearance and the weight ones, which are the default. It's the just devaluing of women in this space and the military community. Oh, you don't work. Oh, you don't do this. Oh, you stay at home. But we actually had a really nice comment and someone was like, how do you expect my wife, when I'm deployed for 6 months, to pick up our kids from school, drop them off, keep the house clean, cook, and work a full-time job?
Yeah.
How do you expect them to do that when she has no support because he's away?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're constantly talking about females and women in this community because this is talking from our point of view. We're not saying it doesn't happen to men, and we're not saying that it is just men attacking women at all, but we're just talking from the experiences we've had.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is as well, they will always... What also makes me laugh, right, is the fact that they say these things, there are a padwife this, a padwife that. If they meet someone in the future, God forbid you don't, but if they meet someone in the future and they end up getting married, what is she going to be?
But can I just... Who birthed you? A woman. A woman birthed you.
Yeah.
I really fucking hope you don't have a wife, and if you're that bitter to fucking post online, you probably don't. But if you have a wife, you have a daughter, a sister, imagine they come home feeling so utterly shit because someone's made them feel a certain type of way because of the way they look.
Yeah. But the thing is, right, I had a comment a few weeks ago and it was not a nice comment at all. But do you know what was in his bio? His fucking daughter's names. And I was like, if that happened
in a world
to
where you can be anything, be kind.
Yeah,
they've always got that in their bio.
Had someone had the freaking Samaritan's mental health contact number in their bio after giving me shit online, and I was like, the contradiction in this is nuts.
But I just can't. That is what. But also, like, I know a lot of it is around appearance and weight, but I don't want to just stick on that because it is that our opinions don't matter, that we're not clever enough to have like a corporate job or whatever.
No,
like
we're not clever enough to even earn the same amount as our husbands or earn more than our husbands.
I literally did a post about, by the way, here's lots of military spouses opt to not listen to the news. So I did a post like, by the way, this is what the government and everyone's talking about due to the military pay rise.
Yeah.
I just got, another padwife lazy sponging off her husband. Of course, a padwife knows all about the military pay. If you are a married couple, finances are a big thing in a relationship. You cover that together. Of course, whenever if you get a bonus or a pay rise or a promotion, I don't just go home to my husband and not say anything.
No.
Be like, and if we go, but 2 years down the line, by the way, I got a pay rise 2 years ago, but I just didn't tell you. It's just not something that happens.
No, but it's the assumptions. It's the continuous assumptions of stuff that is dated back to the frickin' 60s and has maintained the same. The constant assumptions that, I'll say it, the constant assumptions that we shag about all the time. Who the fuck has time to do that?
No. I don't like leaving my house. You know? I'm kind of lost for words now because it's just like, when is it going to end? And I'm not saying there shouldn't be these relatable pages for the military and veteran community, but stop using people as your punchline. Be creative. Stop using people as your punchline at their expense, at their feelings' expense. But the audacity to call out military wives for having a dedicated TikTok page when you're literally a fucking dedicated military page. Yeah. And you don't serve, like, highest level get in the bin. Hypocrisy. Yeah. It's absolutely. It's different. We've got some comments here that I just want to say, and this isn't just, some of them are what we've received, and some of them are what's been sent to us. Crikey, stay to them, I'd rather be on tour too. Pad shagger, you're fucking disgusting. There's definitely a picture of her in the block getting absolutely rinsed. Who the fuck allowed that woman to speak? You need a muzzle on it. Husband's favourite part is being away from them. Personally, I wouldn't return. Sadly for him, no one would buy her on Vinted. He's stuck with it. That was to me. Who the fuck allowed this woman to speak? Again. This is one of the reasons many service personnel upgrade their spouse when promoted. These fatties wouldn't pass the fitness test. That was a nice one that we actually got recently, wasn't it? Yeah. Was it recently? Yeah, that was recently. Yeah, it was recently. So we have some other comments that have been in and around as well. We've got, what does the walk of shame mean? What washing powder do I put in the window or will any work? These are assumptions, okay? Is saying padwives assemble and starting a dog shit podcast going to ruin my husband's life on camp? I'll ask them. I'll find out. But I think they don't mind. No. Pad shagger.
how to make a fab swingers account, and why are there unit badges under my bedroom windowsill? Is it cheating if he's deployed? That's always another one that they go to, the cheating as well, continuously. But it's also the accusations that they throw on our husbands, that they do it the same, they cheat.
We've been talking a lot about kind of social media comments and stuff going on from our perspective, and we will go back to that a little bit because I think you've got a story that you may or may not want to share. I can't remember whether you
I know, that's fine.
And I've got something kind of maybe similar, but not linked, but kind of linked. We want to talk about it makes news a lot, and these are all public statements and facts. These are things we have researched.
These are also things that have been posted online and spoken about a lot recently in the community.
So, in November 2025, the Ministry of Defence published the Armed Forces Sexualised Behaviour and Sexual Harassment Survey. It was the first comprehensive survey of its kind they have ever commissioned. And the headline finding was that 67%, that is 67%, of female service personnel experienced at least one sexualised behaviour in the last 12 months. And that was released in November 2025.
Yeah.
The Minister of Veterans described the results as, and I'm reading this directly, wholly unacceptable. So that is the government's own data, the government's own language, not ours.
Okay, so this one relates very, very much to what we're saying. So in April 2026, General Sir Roly Walker, the Chief of General Staff, the head of the British Army, was questioned in the House of Commons Defence Committee. And he said, again, I'm reading this directly, I am well aware of what is going on with things like the manosphere and the sense of deepening rifts within young people, all of which is playing and accelerating through social media. A lot of that generation are coming through into the armed forces. And that is coming from the head of the British Army. They are very, very well aware of the behaviour that goes on online towards women, towards people in general, of how they get spoken to.
Yeah.
And it's just disgusting.
So I wanted to also, we've got some data about the myth of military spouses not working. So the employment rate of military spouses is significantly lower than the civilian average. The reason is not laziness, despite thousands of comments.
Yeah.
Thousands of comments just of people saying you're lazy. The reason is postings. You cannot build a career that survives being relocated every 18 months without deliberate work. Many military wives do exactly that. And then there's unpaid labour, like solo parenting, home management, school transfers, being the emotional backbone for the family, you know, dealing with everything at home when your partner and the person you rely on and lean on for support is not there, and often you don't have contact with.
Yeah. There are obviously times where you can work, but there are certain circumstances where there is either no point with the childcare, or two, you don't have that family around, or on certain occasions with whatever is going on, you cannot, like certain postings wherever, like different countries and stuff like that. Very, very difficult. It's not laziness, it's just life and circumstance.
We've spoken about it on a personal level. Like sometimes you thought you were trying to work it out when you first went back to work. Like, is it actually worth it with how much you're going to pay for childcare?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was umming and ahhing about going part-time because of it. But
because it just made more financial sense.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand how these people are that narrow-minded that they don't see that.
I do, and I think I know why, because they have absolutely no life experience. If you have no life experience and you're sitting there going, oh, well, you can work, it doesn't matter. They don't know about bills half the time because they're sitting there going, yeah, you can work, even though childcare bills are absolutely extortionate. If you were accusing somebody of not bothering to work when there's childcare bills that are as high as they are, then you have absolutely no idea of real life.
No. Because I mean, I would never, I mean, I know about it from conversations with you, but I could never imagine, and I've never tried to kind of fully understand it because it's not something I've experienced. I would never speak on something that's not my direct experience. We're going to be specific about what we actually want, not vague, very, very specific. To the people running these pages, look at the comments you are inviting. Look at what you are facilitating. That is your responsibility. That is your personal responsibility. You set the tone for that and you choose what stays up. Having it in your bio that it can be removed and, oh, we'll remove it and don't worry and all that stuff is just, quite frankly, not good enough.
No, but also they know that it's going to be offensive because they have a removal choice for people. If you have a removal choice, then you know that you're inviting nasty comments.
Yeah. And to the people who are leaving comments, you served or you are serving or you're a family member of someone who's serving. The women in this community, the wives, the partners and the families are part of what makes your service possible. This is how you are treating them openly online. To the platforms, these pages violate your own terms of services. Enforcement is not optional. We can't monitor everything. It's just not good enough when the harm is this consistent and this documented. To the military community, you have the culture you allow. You decide what banter means in your community, but we are asking you to decide better. And to every military wife listening, to every service member who has ever been the punchline of one of these jokes, who has experienced anything like this, you are not alone. And please do not ever feel like you have nowhere to go when you're feeling that you are alone. And we know that so many pages and so many spouses have decided to either take their pages down, stop posting and that.
I mean, we can speak from personal experiences on that because, like we said earlier, there are days where we sit there from comments. There are days when I sit there, and I think we've spoken about it, where I'm like, oh God, get a life, get a grip. But then if they start getting a little bit more personal, it then starts to go, actually, I don't know whether I can do this anymore. I don't know whether I can put myself, out there for people to be horrible. And I think, I'll be honest, no matter what we say in this, maybe it will resonate with some people in the aspect of maybe they'll second guess. I think that's highly unlikely.
To be honest, I'm already preparing myself for the comments we'll get on this. But guess what? If you comment on this and it's kind of nasty or whatever, you're
proving the point.
You're proving the point.
But the thing is, this is going to sound condescending, but I actually don't give a shit. These type of people actually don't care about what people say because they are just so horrible. And that is the way that they are, clearly the way that...
But what a bitter life.
Yeah.
How miserable it must be.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. And this is where I'm going back to what I said. Social media, these people, we could meet these people in the street, right? And they would be the nicest people that you've ever met. But
I said to you, when was it? Or was it Charlotte? We were at the gym and I was like, I wonder how many of these people have left nasty comments on one of my videos.
But it goes back to they wouldn't say it to your face. And that goes to the social media has become a mask for nasty, nasty people. People that are just that way inclined. And we'll be saying all of this and they could not give two flying fucks.
No,
they will not give two flying fucks.
No.
But, if it does resonate with someone in the aspect of like, Christ, like, yeah, I've been getting so much hate. I'm so glad I'm not the only one. Then great, that was the point.
Yeah. And if this ends up on one of the pages or we get the nasty comments, we are not going anywhere. I know we've spoken about, we wonder if we can't. We are going to keep posting for all these people, for all these women serving, for all these military spouses, for all these men who have been the punchline. We are going to keep posting.
Yeah.
We want to talk about the direct effect of what some of these comments can do, because quite honestly, it was the scariest. We've kind of made a joke out of it now because it's our coping mechanism. It was one of the scariest and heartbreaking events that I have personally ever gone through, and it wasn't even me going through it. So I will let Kirsha talk about it, and then I'll talk a bit about my breakdown surrounding things, because I think there was a lot of things that kind of did lead up to that, although not directly linked. I do want people to understand and feel heard.
I mean, like I said, it will probably fall on deaf ears with the majority of them. But so before August, we were getting so much hate online. Like, I think before that it was
brutal.
It was horrible. And we'd taken a break from the podcast for quite a while. And I will be honest, I did not want to go back on because I couldn't handle the comments that I was getting, or we were both getting, but I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle being called fucking ugly every single day. I couldn't be handled being called fat every single day, or how disgusting I was. And like I said, this is going to both me and Sophie, these comments, but obviously both of us take them personally. And I couldn't hack that anymore, to the point where I was literally starving myself. I stopped eating entirely.
For weeks.
For weeks, yeah. Probably maybe even verging a little bit more, I don't know. But yeah, I stopped eating completely because I didn't want to be called fat anymore. I didn't want to be told how disgusting I was and how vile and everything I was to be looked at. And I ended up putting myself into something called, I can't remember what it was called. I think it was starvation, ketoacidosis, or something like that. Basically, I nearly killed myself because I stopped eating, because I was so scared about coming back online, getting those sorts of comments. And don't get me wrong, we still get them. They still happen. I am in a stronger mindset, but I just wanted to say it because people say these comments, and because there is a glass screen in front of them, they don't see the effect, the aftermath of what you say to people. Because you don't go up to somebody in the street and tell them how disgusting they are because there's a reaction. You don't care about what you're saying because you can't see a reaction. And that's the point of your comments. They may go online, but they're also going somewhere else, and they're going in someone's head. They're going in someone's mental health, and they will fucking cripple that person. And it crippled me. But yeah, I won't go into more of that. Otherwise I'll get...
I just want to say, and well done for talking about it, because I know it is difficult, and I am going to sound selfish, but it was during when we were filming our Ration and Ready. I had to rush Kirsha to hospital, and you can let me know if you don't want me.
No, you go.
We met her husband there, and the hospital literally said if Kirsha had not gotten to hospital, if Kirsha had got to hospital 30 minutes later, she would have been in end of life care. She would not be here. And to hear that, obviously, as I stood there next to her husband, knowing that she had 2 young children at home, my absolute best friend and my rock felt so like your comments had affected her so much that I was thinking, what she can't see how kind of amazing and beautiful she is, because all she could see was the comments of people behind a keyboard, and that is a mother of 2 young children. That is someone who we are here advocating for the community. And like I said, I feel selfish when I think about it, because all I was thinking was, oh my God, I missed this, I didn't see it. My best friend was going through this, and every 5 minutes I was kind of communicating with her husband, and that is just proof of what your comments can do. And what I do want to say as well is, for anyone who is feeling, how you were, Kirsha is proof that you can and you will get through it with the right support. And there is so much out there and our inbox is always open, and we will be there to support you. And I don't want to dwell on that too much. Plus, I'll ruin my makeup because I'm going to cry.
You nearly had me going. The one thing that I will say is it sounds, I don't know whether this is just me thinking it, it sounds ridiculous when you say it, to be like, comments shouldn't really
but it's not ridiculous
you that much, but it does, because you get into this mindset of that you're not good enough. And I think that is a really powerful thing to have over your mind, and a very powerful, I want to say it like euphemism wise, a very powerful cloud to have over your mind that you're not good enough. And I think every day a lot of people don't feel good enough. But when it is said to you every single day in other words, it is something that can have such a hold over you. And like, you know, I look back on it now and thinking how stupid I was to let me get to that point. You know, I have my family to think about, but when it was every single day, every single minute, because we were getting comments like that all the time, it gets in your head, and then that's all you think about, of how vile you are. You look in the mirror, mate, I think I told you this.
Yeah.
I was covering mirrors in my house because I was so disgusted. It's just, yeah.
And I want to show two sides of this, and these are very difficult things for both of us to talk about, but I think it is really important to talk about, so that if anyone is feeling a certain type of way. In 2024, my husband was deployed or away, whatever it's called, and we had just started the podcast, myself and Jess, and again, I was getting a lot of hate. That very first video, I still remember them so clearly. One of them was like, oh, the fat one clearly was feeling self-conscious because I'd only let from upwards being, you know, that kind of stuff. I had 6 accounts join my live once when I was literally talking to someone about how to cope with deployment and that they're not alone. And the comments were just, you're so fat. Do you need a special army vehicle to get around? Do you have a special toilet seat in your house to carry your weight? And all that kind of stuff. And the thing is, I'm not going to say, because I had, I don't know what else to describe it other than a mental breakdown. There were so many different things linked to this, okay? I'm not saying that this is solely the comments. Like, there was a lot of things like undiagnosed autism and ADHD and things like that. But I strongly do believe that because my partner was away and I was on my own and I'd started this whole thing, and it was my first experience of these comments, I do strongly believe that they did kind of build up for that, because I was crying every single night.
Yeah, you were.
To that. And I'm going to put it blankly, and if you are triggered by self-harm or anything like that, then please do skip this part. I slit my wrists. I do not remember doing it. I kind of blacked out. I was just absolutely overwhelmed with so many different things. Again, not just the comments, but they definitely had an impact. And I ended up getting admitted to a psych ward. I was signed off work. I was on antipsychotics. I was a walking zombie. I don't think I spoke for however long. And I still think about that day every single day. I don't talk about it because I try and move past it. But I have, and you'll see, I always wear long sleeves.
Yeah.
And if I don't, you'll see me zooming in on my photos or pictures, and it is purely because I have the worst scars all up my arm, which I'm embarrassed about. I shouldn't be, but I am. And I basically, when I had my therapist thing and I was talking to them, they said that my brain basically felt so overwhelmed and so overstimulated and so kind of built up over the years. Again, I'm not just saying to the comments, but I definitely do believe I was in a bad place at that time from those comments. Did play a part into it. Now, silver lining, I got my autism and ADHD diagnosis, which has helped me kind of move on from that. But I don't even remember texting you, but I can't remember what I texted you.
You just said I need you.
And luckily I had a friend there when it happened, you know. But this is the impact that these And some people are not lucky. We've both gone through these things, right? But some of these people are not as lucky.
No.
There are far too many deaths by suicide within male and female.
Yeah, absolutely.
Due to comments. Caroline Flack.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, while we're talking about like social media and how horrible people are on it, I don't want my kids to have social media.
No.
I don't want them to have a phone because, again, people are so fucking nasty.
It's
and
like
they
that.
use
It's
it
like
as
that.
their mask. It's Facebook, not Facebook, but any sort of social media is literally a fucking balaclava for shitty people.
It's like that, what's it called? The series Adolescence.
Yeah, that.
That was so scary that is the world we live in.
Yeah.
I think we've been filming this episode for well over an hour.
Yeah.
But I do think it was needed. I don't know what else we can say on this. If you are still one of these people and you're going to go away, or even if you comment on this video, I pity you.
And I hope none of your comments ever happen to anybody that you love.
Yeah.
That's what I hope.
I do too. And if you are someone experiencing this, or you know someone who may be struggling, please send them this video or this episode and let them know that they are not alone. And we, right here, are living proof that you can get through with a little help from your friends. To end on a brighter note. But this data, these statistics, this proof does not lie. And please let that sink in. Please think next time you're commenting, whether you're even just liking a post, just think about who it's about or who may take it a certain type of way. Just think about that. But please reach out if you do want to talk to us privately. You can get us via DM or padwivesassemble@gmail.com. But please know your feelings are valued. Military spouses and families, you are doing incredible things, and their service would not be possible without you.
Should we end it on that bombshell?
We will end it on that bombshell. But come back next week for a bit of a brighter episode. We will be back. But this was a very much needed comment video. But on that bombshell, Padwives out.